everybody. I guess it's almost Friday evening here in the Midwest, but Friday afternoon for all of our West Coast followers and viewers. Definitely evening for if you're an East Coast viewer or follower. Hopefully everyone's had a good week. It's been a nice long 5 days for everyone. Making sure we're staying hydrated before, during, and after our training session. Welcome to Gym Junto with Coach, myself. Today we've got, as we can see on our overlay, we'll go through a little brief review. We'll kind of cover what's going to happen today, and then we will begin with warm-ups, like our usual setup here, and then we'll start going through the lifts as they are. Okay, so it's a little, I apologize for it's a little cut off there at the end for our incline, but it's trap bar deadlifts today. We have incline bench with a neutral grip. That's what the NG stands for. So we're actually going to use our Swiss bar attachment or Swiss bar bench that we've used before with our regular flat bench press, or our our supine bench press if our stomach is up, if we're being anatomically correct here with our terminology. So we've got trap bar deadlifts, we've got incline bench press with a neutral grip using our Swiss bar attachment. We've got face pull to external rotation. We're not going to the hospital. That's not what the ER stands for. So we're going to go face pull to external rotation to get a little bit more of that shoulder work and also get a little bit of that upper back recruitment. It's kind of building off of our trap bar deadlifts. It's going to build a little bit off of that incline bench as well as we get set with the shoulder blades. We want to make sure that if these are shoulder blades, we want to make sure that we're nice and set. Everything's pulled in nice and tight before we start pressing and before we start our descent. Okay, we are going to finish off with a little bevy of personal favorites here. We've got calf raises, biceps, triceps. We had biceps and triceps on our last stream. It is springtime. We are getting ready for summer. It's about damn time. If you haven't already, start getting ready for hot girl or hot guy summer, whatever it is that fits your needs. And so we want to start, we want to go out to the farms here and start growing a little bit of arms. So we're going to hit up biceps and triceps again today. We're going to do two different movements compared to what we did last time. We had the easy curl bar, or the squiggly bar, if we're not if we're not accustomed with certain terminology or certain equipment in the gym. And we had that for our bicep curls. We had dumbbell supine extensions for our tricep work. And then we had paired barbell shrugs together, but today we're actually going to take those out. We're going to focus a little bit more on that lower half. And then we're going to really try and hammer home the biceps and triceps. We're going to go with a little bit different setup. It's going to be, we're going to have a little bit of tempo added to those movements. So we're going to really focus on spending more time in different positions for those lifts, hopefully adding a little bit extra stress onto the muscle. We want to think probably a little bit more hypertrophic or hypertrophy at this point. So we're going to add a lot of time under tension to some of these lifts as we continue to do these throughout the Gym Junto sessions, but also my own personal sessions that aren't on Gym Junto, or clips that don't make it to there. So hopefully by summertime, end of summer, we got a little bit more to talk about when it comes to having some arms to brag about at the beach or just walking around. It gives us a reason to wear a tank top. And, you know, maybe shave your arms if you got to. Nobody wants to see that coming out of the tank top. All right, so without further ado, I see we got two viewers. Welcome to the chat, everyone. Without further ado, we are going to get going with warm-up. So I'm going to grab our pad that we've usually used for our lower body warm-up. That's a pretty big staple for us. I'm going to grab a band or two that we're going to use for our warm-up, since we are working a little bit upper body. We really want to help prime the shoulders, and we want to help prime that upper back. But not only that, but we also want to help prime the rest of our torso in order to brace and be proficient in all those movements for ourselves when we do press and when we do lift. Because when we do trap bar deadlift, we need to have a lot of stability when it comes to our torso, so that we don't put the spine in harm's way when it comes to lifting those weights. And we'll address that a little bit more once we actually get the trap bar out and we start going over position and I get everything going. Today I'm actually going to be using, it's a little bit, not really a plug for the company, although they're going to get credit for it because their name is on the shoe. But I'm actually going to be using these for my deadlifts today, just as a point to show an option in the gym. So we have ourselves a weightlifting shoe here. So it's got a little bit of a elevated heel. It's not much. Shout out to Adidas for their shoe. It's my first weightlifting shoe I ever bought on my own, but it just gives us a hard floor or hard bottom to press through, especially when we have trap bar deadlifts. Today, common thing with a lot of shoes is they're really, really squishy. You can almost I call them like marshmallow shoes, those big Nike shoes, or even other brands where it's just super soft and squishy. They're super comfortable, so what I've heard, but I don't wear them, and they're not necessarily the best for lifting when it comes to applying force into the ground, because there's really no stability. It's there's a lot of wiggle room for you to kind of alter, and that's not really what we want when we're lifting heavy or when we're trying to be really specific with our stuff. We want a solid platform in order to be able to push through and not have to worry about any kind of like counter movements and adjusting for that through the lift. We really just want to push straight down and have the bar go straight up and down. So I'm going to be wearing those today. They can make a little bit of difference. They put you in a little bit more of a forward position, help out with a little bit of dorsiflexion. So that's knees going over my toes. Helps us kind of get in that position a little bit better. So normally it's about a 50-50 toss-up if I use them, but today I'm actually going to use them just to kind of break them out and go through them as I'm starting to get back in my normal lower body routine. I have them for squatting and I have them for deads, and then I'll have them for my Olympic movements as well once I start kind of building, getting through the shoulder stuff. So a little bit of shoulder gunk I got to get back into those. So that'll be on some future Gym Junto episodes, but like I said, we're going to get going here. So I'm actually going to get some tunes started. We're going back to our free metal playlist today because it's a Friday and we need to wake the ever-loving F up today. So that will be on tap, and we're going to headbang a little bit with that, okay? There's no lyrics or anything, can't play like Megadeth, but we're still going to bang to that metal playlist, right? So without further ado, we are going to go ahead and get started. If anybody in the chat has ever got questions about priority of exercises and in returns to like what order we do stuff in or what order I program stuff in, or necessarily sets and reps, which I'll be going through as we kind of attack everything today. It's not going to be too much because we are going to train this weekend. So we have had 2 full training sessions already this week. We'll have today, and then I'll have one Saturday and one Sunday. So we're going to go for a full 5-day training session. And as we're getting back into that as a normal routine, the training sessions to start off are going to be a little bit shorter in order to be able to adjust to recovery from day to day. But then we want to slowly build that work capacity up a little bit more. If we went balls to the wall every single day for 5 days, there's no way we could recover in week 1 to be able to go ahead and go for week 2 and do that over again. Nobody would have fun doing that. Put this ox on.
Like Casper.
Nope. We're not sponsored by them. We're not playing that crap. If they want to sponsor us, we'll play their ads all day long. Unless Beef says no. Beef's like the mom. He gets to say no. And what a looker he is, by the way, ladies. Well, he's taken, so never mind. Don't look, ladies. All right. a nice touch. Also, any viewers, if we ever have any suggestions on some royalty-free music, go ahead and send a link to the Long Live Junto social media accounts, and maybe we'll give you a shout out if you play one of your playlists during our broadcast. All right, here we go. All right, camera angle looking good. We'll adjust that after warm-ups a little bit. All right, since we're using the Olympic shoes for deadlifts, we're going to take our regular shoes off. We're actually going to incorporate a new warm-up today. I can't remember if we did this the other day or not, but if not, it's going to be new. We're going to take a little lacrosse ball, so a little ball like this. We can use a baseball, golf ball, preferably not like softballs just because of their size, but if that's all you got, then that's what you got to use. So we're going to take that lacrosse ball, and we're going to roll our foot around on it for a little bit. So as we're pushing through the floor, okay, we want to make sure that our foot, okay, is actually going to be pressing down and going forward. We got a nice tight grip, feel like I'm gripping the floor with my toes as I push through. Okay, we want to make sure that my heel, my big toe, my little toe, 3 components that are going to be pressing through the floor for ourselves. Okay, and we want to make sure that we're pressing evenly. We don't want to be up on my toes and have my foot come forward. I don't want to be sitting back on my heels, giving myself a chance to possibly fall on my ass. We want to avoid those at all costs. We want to be nice and safe. We want to make sure that our force is going to the ground, we're going straight up, and that we're being safe about it. Usually everyone looks at the back, which is a very important component to the lift. We want to make sure that obviously we're not hunching our back, we're not lifting with that spine and putting in a compromising position, but at the same time, we've got to lift the whole body, and we want to start with the feet. If the foot setup's not right, everything else is going to be out of whack. It's going to be really, really hard for any coaches or for anybody to kind of fix some stuff without adjusting those feet accordingly. whether it's going to be width of that foot, it's going to be, you know, big toe, inside of that foot's coming up, outside of that foot's coming up. That's just going to dictate kind of where our knees are at as well, which is going to be the next component that we're going to worry about, because we don't want any valgus collapse or collapse with our knees coming forward. We don't want the insides of those knees to touch or come together and have that. We want to have our glutes to be working to keep those knees apart so we can develop force in the right pattern. Okay, so we're just going to attack our bottom of our foot a couple of times, kind of roll it all the way around, get that heel, that Achilles that comes down, that tendon comes and downs and it attaches in the heel of that foot. Okay, so we want to get that stuff kind of stretched out. The musculature at the bottom of the foot that really works with like plantar common injuries like plantar fasciitis. Okay, we want to kind of roll that stuff out. We want to give that tissue some love, and we want to make sure that we're attacking that and taking care of the whole body. It's not just things that we can see. Typically, it starts from the ground up. You're on your feet all day, okay? So you need them. All right, so once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get going on our pad. I'm going to turn music down so I don't have to yell. Go one more. All right. There. We're not lifting yet, so we don't need to get psyched up for everything just yet. But we're going to go knee down. We're going to go kneeling down. So another variation of this is if you want to take, you want to call it couch stretch. This is our hip flexor right here that we're stretching out. Very tight today. But you can also do like a couch stretch where you take that back foot and you actually put it up on a box or the edge of your couch. And you basically take a knee down right in front of your couch. And you just sit here like this. You watch TV for a couple of minutes, you know, switching legs. You can go 4, 5, 6 minutes, switching legs every minute or so. And just sit here and watch TV and push those hips forward. You want to squeeze those glutes. So right now, I'm really focusing on taking my left glute and I'm trying to fire that and squeeze to force and extend my hips forward. It's going to feel that stretch in my hips. It's going to pull all the way down through my quad. We're just going to hold here for a little bit. Feeling a little tight after squatting earlier in the week. Everything kind of feels a little bit tight still. The soreness has gone away most of the time, or for most part. Okay, we're going to switch sides. Okay, so now my left leg is back. Now I'm going to take my left glute, and I'm really going to focus on squeezing that left glute, trying to extend those hips forward, okay, without arching forward. Chest falling forward is not hips coming forward. We want to make sure shoulders over my pelvis, okay, and everything's kind of coming forward, little by little, slowly, 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 at your own pace. Some people are going to feel this a lot less if you're not as tight. Some people are just going to be more mobile naturally, okay. And we just want to kind of spend some time here and feel that stretch, let that muscle kind of elongate so that when we do get going with everything, there's no surprises. We feel stretched out, muscles prepped and warm, and that we can be as efficient as possible. Okay, so now what we're actually going to do, we're going to start with the right side again, is I'm going to start forcing my way forward. So I'm going to start forcing out, feel a little bit deeper of a stretch. Shoulders still stay stacked over my pelvis, okay? My hips are coming through, but I'm not reaching forward with my shoulders. That does me no good right now. I just want to keep everything upright and reach forward. Trying to force that hamstring onto the back of my calf here. We want to get a couple of reps in, switch sides again, and we are going to go forward. Nice, slow, under control. Okay, I'm going to put a little weight on this leg. Force that knee over that toe. Okay, one more time. Feel a little bit of stretch in my groin, which actually takes us into my next stretch, our little hip adductor stretch. Okay, so you got some musculature that goes right here inside of our legs, right up into our groin that we're going to take care of. Okay, when we're pressing through the floor, we're pulling off the ground. We're creating a lot of pressure, and we want to be able to be under control of that pressure, but we want to make sure that we don't hurt ourselves with that. So we want to effectively warm up this whole hip girdle. Okay, we want to make sure that all points of attack are kind of taken care of for ourselves, especially if we need something a little bit extra. So we're just going to go foot directly out to the side. I like to keep my foot flat on the ground. Okay, gets a little bit of stretch on the outside of that ankle, little lateral part, and we're going to sit back after I go hands and knees. I'm just going to work on trying to go butt cheek to the heel of my foot, back to the top. And I'm just going to sit down, bending at the knee, sit my hips back, and feeling that stretch on that leg. 5 reps, 4, 1 more. Good, and we're going to switch sides. Leg comes in, opposite leg goes out, foot flat. This side's definitely a little bit tighter. And sit. We're also going to feel a little bit of that stretch in that hamstring as well. And those are insanely sore after my last squat day and last lower body day. Oh. Damn, coach is sore. All right. Oh, last one we're going to do here. We're actually going to go foot out in front of ourselves again. We're going to do a little bit of a thoracic spine movement, okay? And a little bit more stretch kind of in that hamstring, that glute area. So we're going to take our leg, we're going to put it up out in front. We're going to take both my hands, we're going to drop my hands down on the floor out there in between or outside inside of my legs, okay? And we're going to reach down and we're going to reach up to the ceiling, and I want my eyes to follow that arm all the way to the top. So I should be looking down this arm, looking past the tips of my fingers to the ceiling, however high it might be, wherever you're at. Okay, we're going to go for 5 reps on each side. So we're going to start here. Okay, naturally we got a little bit of a stretch. We're going to take this inside leg closest to my leg, or excuse me, inside arm closest to my leg. Okay, I'm going to reach, extend, reach, and twist. Hands inside still, we're gonna switch legs. I'm gonna bring this foot all the way up to my hands. Likewise, hands to your feet here. Okay, we're gonna reach. You're gonna feel a little crack. I felt a nice big pop in my back right there. And in my neck. All right, last one. Sometimes it burns so good. All right, a little bit of upper body prep as we did last time for our upper body day, or primary upper body day. We're going to utilize our band. Get a little water. Just talking to you people. Dries on my throat. Alright, so we got supine external rotations. Okay, so we're going to go palms up, elbows tucked into my sides. And from here, just going to pull my hands apart. And I'm going to try and squeeze my upper back together. Okay, so notice how when we're standing up nice and straight. Open that chest up. We want pecs. Okay, we want that pec attachment to really kind of stretch and open up so it doesn't pull us into that internal rotation. We don't want to come forward and be hunched over. We want to stand up nice and tall. Shoulders a little externally rotated. Upper back, traps everything pulling us nice back. And it's a good upright position, okay? So now we're gonna go one hand at a time now. So we're gonna stay in this position, palms up, and I'm gonna pull with my left, keeping my right held isometrically or still holding still for 5. You just wanna resist that pull from your other hand. There we go. Good, now we're gonna loop my thumbs inside, okay? We're going to go to dislocates or pass-throughs, however we want to name them. I don't care if you guys call them something else. But we're just going to get these shoulders moving, reaching up to the sky. Chest stays up. We're going to go a little lateral shoulder raise here. So we're going to take band and go around my foot. Opposite arm, opposite leg. I'm just going to pull up to shoulder height, a little bit above shoulder height if you can. Just going to get that nice and warmed up. We're going to keep that shoulder pulled back. Again, we don't want this to come forward. We want it to stay back. We want to have really, really strict posture when it comes to our warm-up, because we're really trying to fire some of the muscles that we're going to be using during our lift. And if we don't warm up the right muscles, we don't warm up right, then we're going to be screwed when we come into our lift. Good. All right, bands can go away now. All right, let me get these bad boys put on. We'll get a trap bar out. We'll kind of start discussing them. Again, common rule in the gym, tie your shoes.
This is the checker scan with grandson and granddad move on. This is the kitchen where the new boyfriend will unofficially become dad. These are the bird holding.
There we go. All right, so trap bar. This is what it looks like. Okay, we got 6 sides surrounding ourselves. We're loading up and staying in the middle. This allows the weight to go to the midline of my body a little bit more, rather than a barbell where it's going to be out in front on our anterior side. Okay, handles. We've got high handles. We got the option as well for a low handle option. If you want to go from there, it's going to have us force us to get down a little bit more. Today we're going high handle. All right, gonna get some water to start off. All right, so today we're gonna go for sets of 5 on our pulls. Okay, we're gonna go for 4 working sets with 1 warm-up set, and we're gonna go with about a minute rest in between our sets today. Okay, so we're gonna start with warm-up. Okay, then we'll add a little bit extra weight. We'll go about a minute or so for rest, and then we'll start our 4 working sets today, going for 4x5. Oh, trip there. So when we get set up, feet about shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider depending on our body. Okay? So for myself, I'm going to be about shoulder. I'm going to go about as wide as this allows me to. Hands, we're going to grip. We're going to go through the palm of our hand. Okay? We don't want to go through our fingers. Palm of the hand into the bar first. From there, we can wrap around the hand, around the bar, get a nice secure grip. Okay? You're going to sit down and lift. During that rest, go ahead and grab this our Swiss bar. Then we're going to get going from bench afterwards. Little by little, setting it up. All right, here we go. First working set. All right, so one thing we talk about working sets versus our warm-up. Working is going to be a little bit higher in intensity, a little bit more weight usually, might be different timing, different rep schemes, whatever it is for the day. But that warm-up set gets us going, but we want to work at a certain percentage or a certain difficulty in our training sets. So we warm up with those, and then we start counting sets for our reps or for our total volume for the day after that. So we have, theoretically, we really have 5x5, but it's 4x5 and working 1x5 in warm up. All right, here we go. We got second working set. We're going to go same weight before we then bump up to the next weight for either our next 2 or next 3 sets after that.
I know what it's like to not understand cryptocurrency, but then I joined Coinbase and I got paid just for learning about crypto. And you can too.
I bet you did.
It's free to sign up.
All right, we go third working set. All right, we got one set left. We've got, is it 45 to 10 on each side, 75 to 80 pounds. 160 on weights plus the bar that we're using today is 75. So that's 235 for the deadlift today. Not terrible. Not anything to brag home about either, but not terrible. Once we get to incline bench and that face pull, we're gonna be moving pretty well, and then we're gonna finish off today. All right, we go last set. All right, we'll put that stuff away at the end, but we'll get
Home is more than a place.
bench going here right away.
Love supporting you. Your community of faith welcoming
As soon
you,
as we
and your family and friends.
get this crap stuff.
inspiring. Continue to pursue your dreams.
Skip indeed. There we go. We're gonna move that down. All right, so now the first set is done. We want to, uh, I'll talk about a little bit what we want to do, what our focus is for those two exercises. So the incline bench, it puts a little bit more emphasis on our shoulders rather than chest, and triceps. Still, triceps are involved, but it adds a little bit more intensity to our shoulders. We want to really stay focused on keeping a solid, structurally sound shoulder and not letting ourselves slip. So we pull our lats, or excuse me, pull down with our lats, we pull our shoulder blades back and down together to keep bracing. And then we want to work a little bit more of the upper back, a little bit external rotation at shoulder to kind of help open us back up, how we were talking about staying open during our warm-ups and keeping our chest nice and tall and prominent. We just want to kind of help work a little bit of those muscles that help keep us in that perfect, good posture throughout the day, especially for those of us who sit in an office or are on a computer typing all day long. So here we go, set 2. Set 3, come on, boy. All right, we got one more set. Just roll through. One little jump. There you go. One more.
What are you doing on your phone?
I'm sorry, I left a gentleman alone in my apartment, so I'm tracking him to make sure he leaves.
You're tracking him?
Yeah, I track everybody. It's the NSA can do it sometimes. And he's gone. Sorry, what were you saying?
If you haven't heard about HelloFresh, you're missing out. I've been using this meal service for years now, and it's made my life so much easier. If you're like me and you hate grocery shopping and trying to think of what meals to make for the week, this service is perfect for us. I love the convenience of it because I can always count on having fresh ingredients already pre-portioned right to my doorstep. They offer tons of different meals each week to choose from, varying serving sizes, and you can select your dietary restrictions, making this the perfect choice for almost anyone. Now for this day, I decided to prep the miso apricot salmon to have after my workout. Most meals can be prepared in about 30 minutes, so there's no excuse for you to ruin a good workout by eating this junk food. For each of the meals, they have all of the ingredients with the exception of the proteins packaged in a paper bag. You get the right amount of ingredients,
we're not listening to that.
nothing is wasted. I also love this
This
service
isn't the
because
Food
it
Network.
introduced me to tons of new ingredients I would have never tried.
This is Jim Junto, not the Food Network, so take that Emerald Lagasse crap out of here. Triceps set up, biceps set up. We got calf raises. We're just going to do body weight calf raises. We're going to go off the edge of the platform. We're going to go off the edge of the platform here, and we're going to go for calf raises. We're going 3 sets of everything today. Biceps and triceps, we're going to go 3 second. We're going to go 3 second eccentric, which means we're lengthening the muscle. So for bicep, we're going to go hammer curl. We're going to come up, and then we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, and it'll stretch at the end. Okay, and then for triceps, we're going to pull. We're going to go down with the bands, and then we're going to come up 3, 2, 1 to the top. So 3 second eccentric on both of those. Just to stay under control, spend a little bit more time there. We're going to go sets of 8 for the biceps and triceps. We're going to go for a set of 20 on the calf raises. Halfway. One. 1. 1. 5. 3, 2, 1. 2, 1, 2. One set down, 2 to go. Grab a little water. Pardon me. All right, set 2. One more set, we're done. Well, Nightmare Fuel wants it deeper and harder. Well, that's exactly what we'll get. Get it as deep as we can and as hard as we can. That's the Junto way. Last set pump up for Nightmare Fuel. All right, last biceps, even for you, Nightmare. Got your name written all over them. All right. Nightmare, you got your message auto held for hostility, but I'll allow it. Yeah, my calves are on fire right now. I'm not gonna lie, my calves are feeling it. It's probably the first time I've done calf raises like that in a while now. It needs to be something a little bit more. I already have some nice calves, but I want to get some big, strong ones. That's going to include today's workout. Nice little Friday workout here with Coach. We are going to continue to make training sessions available. We're going to continue to film stuff in here, answer any questions that anybody has regarding training, training, exercise selection, exercise order, rep set schemes, anything that involves working out. If you need help with stuff, you need to work on something specific, reach out, and we'll try and answer your questions as best I possibly can. I went to school for it, so hopefully I can have some sort of knowledge help you guys out. But feel free to reach out to our social medias. Make sure you stay up to date. Subscribe to our YouTube. Get on our Twitter. Subscribe to that Twitch. So you see when any of us go live, whether it's myself, Goichi, Nightmare Fuel, or Beef on our hiking Warzone Rust adventures. We might try and stream some extra games coming up here this late spring and summer. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Be sure to check out our Instagram for our videos and Twitter updates. But my name's Coach. I'll see you guys next week. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Watch out for Nightmare Fuel and Goichi in the next coming days for their streams. Peace out, everybody.